All right, so now we're going to switch gears and talk about the new FFVP application, which is going to be in CNPWeb. So you're getting the first sneak peek of the application. Like I said, it hasn't gone live yet, but I'm lucky enough to have gotten some screenshots so I can at least walk you through what it's going to look like. And I think you'll notice that it's pretty similar to the application that we've used in the past. So like I mentioned, you're going to complete in CNPWeb. So the first step is logging in. So the website that you're going to go to is the URL listed right here. You're going to log in using a username and password that's been given to you. And I just wanted to mention here with IDs and passwords, if over the last couple of years you have done administrative reviews through CNPWeb, or you completed your USDA foods order through the food distribution program, you likely already have an ID and password set up, so you can go in and use that same one, and you'll have access to the different programs. But if you're brand new or you don't have an ID and password, you'll want to reach out to Pam Partridge in our office, and she can help you set up your ID and password so that you can get in. So the next step will be to change your password. So if you receive an ID and password from Pam, it's going to be a generic password. So you're going to enter the current password, and then you're going to create a new one and then make that change. All right, so once you have your ID and your password, you're going to log in, and then the next screen you will see is where you select the program code. And because FFVP falls under National School Lunch, you're going to click on the SNP code. So you're going to click on that. And then the next step is selecting the program year. So because we're looking at school year 2022, you're going to click on that year. And then you'll see a Forms tab that will show up. So you'll see the sponsor summary. So this is essentially the sponsor's homepage or district homepage. And at this point, you'll only see the Forms tab, which is highlighted in purple. But as the year goes on, you'll see more tabs appear as more programs are being added to the system. But as of right now, you'll see the Forms tab right here. And this is where the FFVP app lives. So when you get here, you'll see all of the schools listed that are eligible within your district. So for example, if you have 4 elementary schools and a high school, you're only going to see the elementary schools listed because high schools are not eligible for FFVP. So you'll see the schools listed, and then over here under action, you'll see a plus sign. And so you'll click on that plus sign, and that is going to generate the application. So we talked about these first two, and then I'll show you how the form is divided into 3 parts. So I know this might be a little hard to see on your screen, but on the left-hand side is a side menu. So it breaks down each section of the application, so you can click on each section and complete it. And then the header section at the top, it's going to list your school, the program year, and the status of your application. So you'll see that there. And then the form body is where you're entering all of the information for your application. All right, so let's start with the first section that you're gonna fill out. So the first section is the contact data, so information that you've always given with the application. So on the left-hand side is the primary contact. So you'll list name, email, phone number. And then on the right side is a section for the secondary contact. So I'd like to list 2 people here in case we have questions. And then the second section is the school data. So this is where you're going to check off the grade levels of the students that are receiving the fruits and vegetables, so pre-K through 8. And then number 7 is where the enrollment in free and reduced eligible data is located. And so this actually isn't something that you're going to fill out. This is going to be automatically pulled from that ED 534 report I was talking about. So you're not entering that information. That will be pulled from that report. And then the third section is the implementation data. So this is really getting into the nitty-gritty of the application. So for example, number 8 has you list the serving days and times of the program. Number 9 is how you're going to serve. Are you going to have carts or stands in the hallways? Or are you offering FFVP in the classroom? So how are you going to go about this? Number 10, who is purchasing the fruits and vegetables and who's going to file the claim? And then 10, 11, 12, and 13 include any partnerships that you'll have to support the program. How will the students in your school benefit from the program, and are there any major barriers that you have come across and the plan to overcome them? And then the fourth section is certification. So for this part, the person who is completing the application is going to check off this certification box. So attesting to, following all aspects of the program. And then you'll hit the save button. And if there are no errors, then the application will go to pending submission status. And if there are errors, it will be listed in error status. So if you happen to have some errors, you'll have to fix them before you can proceed with the application. It's a little hard to see here, but on the left-hand side, in each section, it will tell you where the errors are and how many. And then once you go to each section, it'll tell you where the corrections need to be made. Maybe you skipped over a question, so you can pretty much follow what is mentioned at the top here. And then you'll have to hit the save button again, this blue button right here, and then the status will change to pending submission status. And then the last step is to sign and submit. So you'll see this PDF button. That is where you'll get the signature page. So you're going to click on that, and then that is where the site manager, the principal, and the superintendent are all going to sign. So they'll all sign that page, and then you'll see these blue buttons here, which is where you're going to upload that signed signature file. And if you upload that and everything goes through, you'll get a successful upload message over here. So you'll know whether it took it or not. And that is one change from the application in NEO is in order for it to move to DOE approval, you needed the superintendent or legal agent to approve the application itself, but now we're only asking for the superintendent's signature. So once you have that signature page uploaded, the last step is just to check this box, which says check here to submit this form to the state for approval. So you check that off, and then you click save, and then it will change to pending approval status. So then it moves to DOE approval. All right, so at this point, we have the option to either approve it or essentially kick it back if something needs to be corrected. So if you go back to that Forms tab where it shows the status, date approved, etc., under status, if there's anything that needs to be corrected, you'll see needs correction. And then you'll click on this little pencil right here to edit anything that was mentioned that needs to be corrected in order for it to be approved. Or if everything looks good and it is approved, you'll see this under the status part of the Forms tab, and it will also tell you the date it was approved. You will still have the option to edit until the beginning of May. So if you'd like to go back and change anything, you can hit the plus sign and revise any of the questions. So steps 3 through 10.